Welcome, students. I know English grammar transformations can sometimes give us so much tension, isn't it? But don't worry at all. Today, it's going to become easy only with this simple explainer masterclass. We're going to master this completely, so let's dive right in.
See this chart? This chart prepared by Ansho is literally the ultimate cheat sheet you need to score full marks in your board exams. It has all the degrees of comparison clearly laid out. So let us break it down logically step by step so you can easily by heart the logic without any confusion. Here is what we will cover today. 1. The 3 basic degrees. 2. Type 1. Comparing 2 entities. 3. Type 2. The absolute best. 4. Type 3. One of the best. 5. Type 4. Not the absolute best. And finally, 6. The practice worksheet.
Let's start with Section 1, the 3 basic degrees.
First up is the positive degree. This simply expresses equality without any comparison at all. Think about a single boy just giving a thumbs up. He is simply cool, or great, or heavy. Since nobody else is around him, there's absolutely no comparison happening here, right?
Now, the game changes when a second boy arrives. We now have exactly 2 entities. So we use the comparative degree to say one is cooler, or greater, or heavier than the other. We are doing a direct comparison between just the 2 of them.
Finally, we get to the superlative degree. Imagine a golden trophy. If there are more than 2 entities, say a whole classroom full of students, the absolute highest or lowest quality gets the superlative degree. You know, like the coolest, the greatest, or the heaviest. You are simply number 1 in that whole group.
Moving to Section 2, Type 1, Comparing 2 entities.
Please pay full attention here, students. Type 1 is used when we are comparing only 2 people, places, or things. The most important rule to by heart here is that if we only have 2 things, a superlative degree simply cannot exist. I mean, you cannot be the best in a group if there are only 2 of you, no? Also, remember this golden principle. An affirmative sentence becomes negative during transformation, and a negative sentence becomes positive.
This perfectly illustrates that exact principle. Look at case A. Uri is cooler than Hyderabad. This is affirmative. To change it, we must make it negative. Hyderabad is not as cool as Uri. Now look at case B, which is already negative. Uri is not cooler than Munnar. This transforms so easily into a positive statement. Munnar is as cool as Uri. Notice how cooler than becomes not as cool as, while not cooler than simply becomes as cool as. Simple, no?
Now for Section 3, Type 2, the absolute best.
The rule for Type 2 is that it's used when one single entity is at the absolute top or absolute bottom of a group. Imagine a beautiful, towering mountain peak. This type is for when something is uniquely number 1, standing tallest above all the others.
The crucial point here is the keywords. You need to by heart these carefully. For superlative, we say, Ooty is the coolest place in India. See the pattern? The plus the superlative word. To make it comparative, it becomes, Ooty is cooler than any other place in India. Than any other is the magic phrase you must write. And for positive, we start with no other. No other place in India is as cool as Ooty. If you just fix these 3 patterns in your mind, you will score full marks for Type 2, for sure.
Let's look at Section 4, Type 3, one of the best.
Now, Type 3 is a little different. The rule here is used when an entity is one among the top or bottom group. They are not uniquely the absolute single best. Think of Shakespeare with his quill pen. He is brilliant, of course, but he is one among a group of top writers. There are other great writers existing too, isn't it? Notice the plural nouns here, students. This is exactly where many students lose marks in the exam. In superlative, we say, Shakespeare was one of the greatest writers. Please note the plural, writers. When we transform this to comparative, it becomes greater than most other writers. Than most other is your key phrase here. And for the positive degree, we absolutely must start with very few. Very few writers were as great as Shakespeare. Keep the S on writers. Always check for singular and plural when dealing with Type 3.
Section 5 brings us to Type 4, not the absolute best.
The rule for Type 4 is used when an entity is good or cool or large, but it is explicitly not at the very top of its category. A slightly sad smiley face tells us exactly this. The city we are talking about is nice, but it is explicitly not the absolute top one.
Let's see how this builds into our formulas. For superlative, we simply use not the, like Bangalore is not the coolest place.
To make it comparative, it translates strictly to not cooler than some other places. And for the positive degree, we say some other places are at least as cool as Bangalore. At least as cool as is the most important phrase here. It means others match it or even beat it.
Finally, Section 6, the practice worksheet.
Are you ready to see how easily these formulas solve the Class 10 practice worksheet? Keeping those 4 tables and their keywords firmly in our minds, let us check the answer key provided together. Let's see if it works.
Look at step 1. The question is, iron is more useful than any other metal. The phrase than any other immediately tells us it is type 2. So the superlative is easily, iron is the most useful metal. Step 2. Very few boys are as clever as Rahul. Very few tells us it is type 3. So the comparative is Rahul is cleverer than most other boys. Step 3. Lead is heavier than gold. Only 2 metals are compared here, so it is type 1. The affirmative statement becomes negative. Gold is not as heavy as lead. See how perfectly the sentence structures match the exact keywords we just by-hearted for types 1, 2, and 3?
Let us finish the last 2. Question 4 says India is not the largest country. Not the largest means it is type 4. So the positive degree is some other countries are at least as large as India. Finally, question 5, Kolkata is one of the biggest cities. One of the is clearly type 3. So the positive degree starts with very few cities are as big as Kolkata. By simply identifying whether it is not the largest or one of the biggest, you immediately know which rule formula to apply.